Presidential Commission appointed to probe the central bank bond scam. Attempts are being made to prevent a parliamentary debate on the bond scam, a claim by the JVP. 11 dengue-related deaths reported over the past 23 days. 8 people drowned in 3 separate incidents in the past 48 hours. Chief Ministers hold talks with former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga. Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Jitendra Gunasena. Let's take a look at the local stories in detail. President Maithripala Sirisena has pledged to strengthen free education for all children in the country. The President made this statement at the centenary celebration of Visakha Vidyalaya, Colombo.
Founded in 1971 by Jeremy Stiles, Visakha Vidyalaya lays claim to a proud history producing luminaries in several fields. A commemorative coin minted in line with the centenary celebration was presented to the President today by the Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy. You would have seen on the evening news yesterday what happened to a group of 14 and 15-year-old children who did not tell their homes where they were going and claimed to be going for classes. 3 of the 5 children that went to Gampola and swam in the Mawanella river drowned. Imagine the tragedy. Imagine the issue of responsibility when it comes to children. It appears to me that at present, when it comes to enriching the children's mind, hope and prayers, and when it comes to safeguarding their lives, the problem does not lie with the external parties who are the school teachers, but with the parents who have not comprehended this responsibility.
ගුරු බවතුන් නොව ඒ වගකීම පිළිබඳව නිසි අවබෝධයකින් කටයුතු නොකරන දෙමව්පියන් කියා මට පෙනී යනවා.
2 people were killed and 35 others injured in a motor accident which took place in the Battaliya area in Nittambuwa on the Kandy-Colombo main road early this morning. Director of the Wathupitiwala Hospital, Dr. Sisira Vijayasundara, said that 3 of the injured victims are in critical condition.
The accident, which took place around 5:25 this morning, was the result of a collision between a container truck plying from Kandy to Colombo and an SLTB bus travelling from Colombo to Kakirava. A car and a 3-wheeler were also caught in the accident. The injured are receiving treatment at the Wathupitiwala Hospital.
බස් එක ආවේ ඉතින් සාමාන්‍ය වේගයට තමයි ආවේ. ඩෝන් ගාලා සද්දයක් වුණා. ඊට පස්සේ පෙල්ලේ ජඩිපිටි ගැව්වා. එච්චරයි. රියක් ඇවිල්ලා එකපාරටම වැදුනා බස් එකල බස් එක තේරෙල්ලෝ.
A warrant had been issued to me to appear in court. I was supposed to appear in court in Nikavaratia. I got into the bus at around 5 and it was travelling quite slow. Around Ganegama, I heard a loud noise and the bus toppled.
I got into the bus with my father from Balangoda around 4:50 and we were to get off in Kurunegala. We were seated close to the door. There was a loud noise and the bus toppled. The bus did not topple entirely. Since it fell onto another vehicle, most of the passengers were able to get out through the door.
2 of the victims died upon admission to hospital. There are 35 others who remain injured, out of which 3 are in critical condition. The driver of the container was killed in the accident. He was a 37-year-old resident of the Hingurangoda area. The victim killed in the motor accident is a 60-year-old female passenger of the bus. A correspondent said vehicular movement of the Colombo-Kandy main road was hampered for several hours as a result of the accident. 3-year-old girl killed in a motor accident in Elayapattuwa, Anuradhapura. Motor accident in Mangalagama, Mawanella claims the life of a 5-year-old child. 1 person killed in a motor accident in Shrawastipura, Anuradhapura. 1 person killed and 9 others injured in a motor accident in Ellapola, Balangoda. Motor accident in Chavakachcheri kills 11 and injured 4 others. Youth killed in a motor accident in Ganegama, Pelmadulla. One person dies in a motor accident on the Southern Expressway. 3 killed in a motor accident in Navakkulama. 2 youth killed in a motor accident on the Galle Pinnaduwa road. 2 killed in a motor accident close to the Kaduwela Fuel Station. For your attention.
These images were captured by Newsfirst cameras in the past 48 hours. Over the past 2 days alone, 8 people have drowned in 3 separate incidents across the island.
3 young men have drowned while swimming in the Sea of Muttur in Trincomalee. The police noted that the youth were aged 17, 19 and 21, adding that they were residents of Tiharia in Nitambua. Two 19-year-old students drowned in the Udawalawa reservoir yesterday. The boys were residents of Haupe and the Udahaupe area in Navalakanda. Navy lifeguards from the Navy base in Hambantota had recovered one of the bodies last night, while the second body was recovered this morning. 3 schoolboys drowned while swimming in the Mahabeli River the day before yesterday. The 3 victims had informed their parents that they were heading out for a school activity and had then joined 2 other friends to swim in the Mahabeli River in Dunhinda Gampola. When one of the boys was caught in the current of the Mahabeli, his 2 companions had attempted to rescue him, resulting in all 3 boys drowning.
Sri Lanka, an island surrounded by the sea, has one of the highest concentrations of rivers and lakes, given its landmass. Yet, at the Newsfirst Centre, we regularly receive reports of people drowning while attempting to swim. Can such incidents be prevented? Newsfirst made inquiries.
Close to 1,000 people die as a result of drowning in Sri Lanka. Last year, about 800 people drowned. At times, youth go swimming in lakes and rivers with absolutely no knowledge of the environment. They do not know the depth, they do not know if there is mud, they do not know if it is dangerous. They just jump into the water, and when one person gets stuck in the mud or gets caught in the current, the others try to save him, resulting in their deaths too. The lack of knowledge is the reason for this. There are several factors to consider before getting into the water. You must consider your level of physical fitness. You must know the depth of the body of water you are getting into. You must consider if you are within the sight of other people and whether it is a dangerous location. Some people do not consider any of these factors. It is best to go swimming in areas marked by red and yellow flags because that means there are lifeguards on duty. It is mostly youth that fall victim to drowning. In many instances, we see this happening when a group of youth get into lakes or rivers while on excursions. There have also been reports that some people get into the water while under the influence of alcohol. Most of the time, they go on such journeys without informing their parents. In many instances, the parents only find out after the fact. There are many steps that must be taken. Young men especially must realize that the water is not to be toyed with.
Welcome back to the news. Let's now take a look at some news from the court.
The case pertaining to a plot of land on Mihidumavada, Mount Lavinia, was allegedly given to Yoshitha Rajapaksa by his grandmother, was taken up today at the Mount Lavinia Magistrates Court. The Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division submitted to court today that all reports regarding the case have been referred to the Attorney General. The FCID also requested that court order the defendant in this case to cooperate with the surveying of this plot of land. Court will reconvene on the 22nd of May. The petition filed by Sandhya Eknaligoda, the wife of disappeared journalist Pragit Eknaligoda, seeking a writ of habeas corpus, has been laid by the Court of Appeal. The petition was laid by while lifting the injunction issued in October 2015, halting the inquest at the Homagam Magistrates Court. As such, the inquest into the disappearance of journalist Pragit Eknaligoda will now continue at the Homagam Magistrates Court.
In more local news, a group of UPFA provincial councillors who have pledged support to the joint opposition convened a media briefing today.
අපි පුදුජන ප්‍රමුඛ ආවරන්නේ මහජනයා මතය.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඔබතුමා තාම දැන් ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වයක් පක්ෂ ඉවත් වෙලා නැහැ නේද?
අපි එදාට ඉවත් වෙනවා.
ඒ කියන්නේ කවදාද ඉවත් වෙන්නේ?
අපි ඉවත් වෙනවා අපේ මැතිවරණ එන දවසට අපි සම්පූර්ණව ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයෙන් ඉවත් වෙනවා. අපේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා
The Sri Lanka People's Front has been established. When the election comes around, the Western Provincial Council group will leave and we will contest from the Sri Lanka People's Front.
අපි තරම් කරන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා පුදුජන පෙරමුණයි.
We are hoping that Mahinda Rajapaksa will be given chairmanship of the SLFP. There are several conditions. I was the first member when the election was declared for the Western Provincial Council. We are the same. There is no change there. We will be wherever Mahinda is contesting from. We are attempting to secure the chairmanship of the SLFP for His Excellency President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Speaking to the Newsline segment today, Chief Minister of the Western Province, Anuradhapura, said that Chief Ministers of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party held discussions with former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga.
If former President Chandrika Bandaranaike calls all chief ministers for a discussion saying she is ready to give leadership for the upcoming elections, would you go? Well, we have already had several discussions with her. We even had one this morning. She spoke to us for nearly 20 minutes over the phone. She is with us.
President Maithripala Sirisena has instructed the Attorney General that a presidential commission will be appointed to probe the allegations surrounding the central bank bond controversy. A statement issued by the President's media division reads that the President is seeking the cooperation of all sectors to ensure the success of the Commission's task. Most details on this story later on in the bulletin. On to more local news. Various factions have responded to the views expressed by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe on investigations into fraud and corruption during an interview with the BBC Sinhala service. The Prime Minister spoke to the BBC Sinhala service during his visit to Davos, Switzerland.
Your government has failed as yet to take action on allegations of corruption against the former government. There are corruption accusations against you too. It has all been entrusted to the police and Attorney General. The Attorney General has filed cases in some instances. We have said that there should be no political vengeance when filing cases. If there is a guarantee of 100% or 200% success rate, then the cases must be filed. So the work is being done gradually. Considering the scale of corruption at that time, we did not have people with the skills to investigate it. 2015 and 2016 have passed, and during this time, we secured training for them in America, England, Europe and India. Funds have been channeled to various places in some instances.
We condemn this statement with the utmost distaste. If we consider the bond scam alone from among the cases of large-scale corruption and fraud, there are already 3 reports which have been issued. One is the COPE report. Second, there is the Auditor General's report. And thirdly, there is the report issued by the Internal Audit Unit of the Central Bank. All 3 reports attest to the facts that corrupt earnings were made through the bond incident and that the entire process was corrupt. These are documents that have been put forward based on all of the documented evidence. The Prime Minister is hoping to delay this further by going around the world and making such statements in order to protect his good friends and give them the opportunity to steal the country's resources.
As mentioned a few minutes back, President Maithripala Sirisena has instructed the Attorney General that a presidential commission will be appointed to probe the allegations surrounding the central bank bond controversy. A statement issued by the President's media division reads that the President is seeking the cooperation of all sectors to ensure the success of the Commission's task.
The President is hoping to appoint a 3-member commission comprising of a Supreme Court Justice, a High Court Judge and an audit expert. The relevant Gazette notification is to be issued this week, while the Commission will be given a 3-month mandate to submit a report including their recommendations.
We are extremely happy about this. Through this measure, if any person is guilty of wrongdoing, they will be brought before the law and they will be punished. A debate will be held in Parliament tomorrow. The SLFP is of the clear stance that a scam has occurred in this instance and that the law must be enforced in full. The true story must be found out in a correct manner, and within a short period of time the relevant persons must be punished. At the same time, the funds, the money and the assets that have been accumulated improperly must be seized by the state. We expect this commission will accomplish this task. We iterate to this government that this decision that has been made will carry more weight if, until a decision is made, steps are taken to freeze the accounts of perpetual treasuries to prevent them from reinvesting the billions and trillions of rupees they have amassed through this scam. The problem will not be resolved through this commission alone. The government must immediately take steps to punish the corrupt. President Maithripala Sirisena must immediately use his executive powers to make these decisions. Intervene immediately to stop these persons who have stolen the wealth of the nation from attempting to influence the judicial processes. If they are not punished swiftly, the money that these corrupt individuals have amassed will be used to influence not only the media but also the judiciary. The Voice Against Corruption movement reiterates this fact to the people.
Among the serious allegations pertaining to the bond controversy was that heavy losses had been caused to the Employees' Provident Fund as a result of this transaction. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka announced today that an internal investigation is underway into the EPF investments in the bond market between 2015 and 2016. The central bank notes that since the activities of CBSL employees during this time frame will also be under investigation, in terms of the issuing of bonds, it has requested law enforcement authorities to conduct an independent external investigation. Against this backdrop, the Anti-Corruption Front addressed a letter to President Maithripala Sirisena today, highlighting the fact that the former governor of the central bank, Arjuna Mahendran, continues to serve as the central bank advisor for the Ministry of Finance. The Anti-Corruption Front charges that Arjuna Mahendran attended meetings convened by the Finance Minister on Tuesday and Thursday and that he had given advice on decisions to be made by the Monetary Board.
මේ වසරේ ජනවාරි 6 වෙනිදාත් මුදල් අමාත්‍යාංශයේ පැවතිච්ච රැස්වීමට
At a meeting held on the 6th of January at the Finance Ministry, Arjuna Mahendran, who has been appointed as an advisor, had given advice on decisions to be made by the Monetary Board prior to the meeting. When the individual who has been accused of involvement in this continues to participate in meetings at the Finance Ministry regarding the Treasury, we cannot expect what the results of the appointment of the Presidential Commission will be. It is the responsibility of the President to ensure that the Commission that is appointed will not become one which will delay and suppress information regarding this matter.
යෝජිත ජනාධිපති කොමිෂන් සභාවත් පත් නොවීමට වග බලා ගැනීම ජනාධිපතිවරයාගේ වගකීමක්.
Meanwhile, as Parliament is scheduled to convene at 9:30 tomorrow morning, the COPE report on the bond transactions is set to be taken up for debate. The Dinamina newspaper reported today that Director of the Lanka Hospitals, Venerable Thiniyavala Palithathero, who challenged the COPE report, has filed a fundamental rights petition at the Supreme Court. The newspaper quotes the petition as saying that certain facts in the report causes confusion among its readers and is also misleading.
I think Ranil Wickramasinghe should have appointed the Venerable Thero as the central bank governor instead of appointing him to the board of directors of Lanka Hospitals. This is nothing but an attempt to protect this transaction. A case has been filed and it is the lead story in the Dinamina newspaper. What is the reason behind this? Tomorrow Kaduwela will get up and tell the Speaker that as there is a pending court case at the Supreme Court, the matter cannot be taken up for debate in Parliament as per a certain clause in the standing orders. So Venerable Thiniyavala files a case. Kaduwela gets up and speaks and the Speaker issues the decision. So this Supreme Court case is the first step in the scripting of a drama directed by Ranil Wickramasinghe. If there is an attempt to prevent a debate from taking place in Parliament tomorrow, we will not leave room for that at all.
In other local news, the inauguration ceremony of the Diploma in Public Procurement and Contract Administration was held in Colombo this morning.
The event was held under the auspices of Minister of Finance Ravi Karunanayake.
fraud and corruption are something which is embedded, and it is not something that can be easily removed. But why cannot it be removed? Don't let it be just stuck at the hands of a couple of bureaucrats or inefficient politicians that are there. The problem in the bureaucracy is many are silent. Some dare the system. Others play along with the politicians. Don't only blame the politicians. The public servants are even more guilty after certain things that are there. There is no point talking if you won't walk the talk. I'm being open today. We are sick and tired of hearing things that are going on. And I ask if the Minister of Finance is unable to clean this system. It is not only a weakness in the government, weakness in the system, but absolute inefficiency of the minister itself. Time of a honeymoon is over. Now together let's make this difference.
The keynote address was delivered by procurement expert and board member of the Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply in UK, Colin Cram.
Sri Lanka is number 80 in the corruption league. It is roughly midway, where being top means least corrupt. And it is difficult to put a figure on the impact of procurement fraud, but I would not be surprised if it hampered economic growth by something between 2 and 5% a year. Now you've got pretty rapid economic growth. I think the latest figure is 6.7%. But being able to actually combat procurement fraud effectively might add something between 2 and 5% to that figure.
The Ministry of Health says there is a high risk of dengue spreading in 13 districts in the country. This was revealed at a media briefing held today. The highest number of dengue patients have been reported from the Colombo, Kalutara, Gampaha, Galle, Hambantota, Trincomalee, Jaffna, Batticaloa and Mannar districts. During the media briefing, it was revealed that 55,000 persons had been affected by the dengue virus in 2016, while 91 deaths had been reported that year. The number of dengue-related patients and deaths have increased in January this year when compared to the same period last year. If the increase in dengue-related cases that we see now continues, then there will be a high risk of it developing further during the April to June period during the southwest monsoon. Therefore, we need to be alert. Nearly 3,000 dengue patients were recorded in January 2016. The number has increased to 3,500 patients in January this year. The number of deaths in the same period last year were 9, while this year the number has risen to 11 deaths. We consider this increase as an emergency situation. 45% of the cases have been reported from the Western Province, out of which 1,000 patients, that is one-third of the cases, are from the Colombo district. We have identified 25 Grama Niladhari divisions in 13 districts which are at high risk.
Sirasa Pentathlon Grand Finale.
Colombo Rajakiya Vidyalaya.
That was the winning moment of the Pentathlon Grand Finale organised by our sister channel, Sirasa TV. Royal College Colombo, who won the competition, visited our newsroom today, and the captain of the team expressed these views with us.
We were very happy about winning this contest, and this contest is not only a contest that tells that tests our knowledge, it also tests our other skills. And I would like to pay special tribute to all the people who have helped us in our journey to success. Fellow team members have worked really hard, and I think it was a sheer team effort that finally we gained this trophy. Encourage our young brothers to one day to take the Pentathlon trophy, maybe in season 2. That's our plan in the future.
Thank you, Azra. Well, that's all the news we have for you for tonight. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Jitendra Kansena.
And I'm Shane Silva. Take care and good night.